What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Poppy J. Welcome back to another episode of Poppy TV. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you're having an amazing week because I sure as hell am. Um, Make sure you kiss your mama, your grandma, you kiss your kids goodbye before you step out that door. Just make sure that you love your loved ones, because that is the most important thing as we get older. For today's episode, I want to talk about probably one of my favorite artists, most likely in my top five. And I really want to talk about this artist because I feel like as of lately, it's been a lot of lackluster material, and I I don't know. I guess I'll say this, right. I feel like a lot of people don't understand how to not be biased. And I'll put it like this. I'm talking about Drake, right? If you know me personally, you know I've always been a huge Drake fan. I've been listening to Drake since 2007. Like room for improvement, comeback season Drake. I've been listening to Drake for that long. Going on almost 20 years I've been listening to Drake. And I hold him to a high expectation, right? But as of lately, I feel personally that a lot of his music has just not been hitting the same. And I see a lot of discourse online, people talking about, oh, Drake can't miss. Drake is always putting out classics. Drake, this, that, and the third. And look, man, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Y'all a bunch of fucking liars. Simple as that. Y'all a bunch of liars because you guys are you guys are really not understanding how sonically Drake has just not been hitting, right? And if you don't think I'm a real Drake fan, like I have So Far Gone tatted on me. Like that mixtape did something for me, especially as somebody who does music. That mixtape did something for me. And I've always been a huge advocate for Drake, and I've always defended Drake, right? A perfect example of how I defend Drake. They said that Honestly Nevermind was probably his worst album he's ever made. And me personally, sonically, I think that album is good. It's good and it's enjoyable. There's a lot to enjoy about it. That it was just a huge shift from his original work, that it was enjoyable. And I die on that hill defending that album, right? But when it comes to the R&B bag and the rap bag, I feel like we're just losing sight of everything. And I'll put it like this, right? So the past 2 weeks, we've had Drake drop two singles, right? He has this whole Iceman episodic thing going on YouTube where he's streaming and putting out music from the new Iceman album, right? Uh what did I miss was not a good record. It's an okay record. I listened to that record, and I think that record to me personally was a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. It was a good record. Like it was all right. It did what it was supposed to do. It's catchy, certain quotables here and there. It was a good record. But this new record, right? What's it called again? Because I was online going back and forth with a whole bunch of people, and this shit was just like, so which one with Drake and Central Cee, right? So Drake had previewed a song of him and Central Cee that was rap. Like I was expecting that record to drop. That shit sounded hard. And again, like I said, like I defend Drake when it's supposed to be defended, but I also criticize him because as somebody who's been listening to for so long, it's like he's been dropping the ball. And like this whole Drake and Kendrick beef that I like is still ongoing, but people are just stands. They're not fans of music. They're stands and meat writers, meat gobblers. Like they do all that shit. Like they're not there for the music. They're there for the artist, if that makes sense. If that don't make sense, then you're one of them. But to me, what's the name of this fucking song again? Which one with Drake and Central Cee was not it? It's not a good record. It's not even a great record. It's not even an okay record. I give that record a 2 out of 10. And that's just me being nice, right? We've had Drake drop some good dance hall records. We've had Drake drop some amazing dance hall records. This wasn't it. And people here defending it, saying, "Oh, you don't understand dance hall. You don't understand the type of music that he's putting out." No, it's. I do understand. So somebody online said, "Oh, you're not Jamaican. You wouldn't understand." What the fuck does me being Jamaican have to do with a record? Was it? You don't have to be white in order to understand country music. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be Latino in order to understand reggaeton. But you're gonna enjoy the music because if it's good music, it's good music, and you're gonna enjoy it. But I need y'all to understand which one is not that record. It's not a good record. It's not. And for y'all to sit there and really think that is a good record, your taste in music comes into question. Now, I'm not saying I'm an A&R and I have pristine taste in no. I've had questionable taste in music when my friends be like, "You like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bop." If you can defend the record, I'm all for it. We can have a debate about it. But it's not a good record. And people, Drake fans need to come to an understanding that some of these records are just not it. As a huge Drake fan, I know this record's not it. This record's not good. And I'll put it this way: to me personally, Drake's last good album was Views. Last amazing album was Views, right? And I died on that hill, and I went back and forth with a lot of people. Like, yo, trust me, Views is that album. And that was the last time we got a good cohesive album from Drake. Everything else has been lackluster. Scorpion wasn't good. I had a lot of good singles on there. Had a lot of good singles on there, which I can go back to and I listen. Certified Lover Boy wasn't it. Was not it. Her Loss was not it. Was not it. For all my dogs was not it. Was not it. Is there bangers on there? Of course. But as an album is not it. And I don't think people understand that, right? And as a longtime core fan of Drake, I'm disappointed, and I'm still disappointed. But I'm still gonna listen to his music because I'm not giving up on him. If that makes sense. How can I give up on somebody when they're not on a good run? Right? Everybody has a bad run every now and then. Doesn't mean I'm gonna give up on him, but I will be critical about the things that he puts out. But that's just me because I enjoy Drake and I love his music so much that it's like I have to be critical. But my expectations are getting lower and lower because I just want to hear good music that makes me feel something. And I think that that's where a lot of the essence of music is at now. There's no feeling. You don't feel anything when these records drop. Nothing. And I'm not talking about Drake specifically. I'm just talking about in general through like hip hop and R&B. There's no records that are being put out that make you feel like, damn, I felt that right here in my heart. Nothing's pulling your heartstrings. Nothing's making you feel an emotion. You know what I'm saying? Nothing makes you feel excited. But at the end of the day, Drake is Drake. He's the biggest artist in the world. If he drops something, the world stops because we want to hear it. But we have to also come to an understanding that some of his shit right now is just not it. It's not it, and it's okay. But as for his last record, it just wasn't it. And people are attacking me and saying that like, oh, you don't understand. You're just being like, nah, bro. Like, as a huge Drake fan, I'm gonna be critical. That just wasn't it. Am I still excited for the rest of Iceman? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like I'm excited as ever because that's how I feel about the artists that I love. I've also been super critical about Eminem. Do I think Eminem needs to hang it up? Probably. He's my favorite rapper all time. And it's just like some of his music just not it anymore. And it's okay. I enjoy it for what it is. But it's the same thing as Drake. I enjoy it for what it is. But I'm gonna be critical, you know? But overall, again, like I said, this record is just not it. If you enjoy it, I'm all for it, man. Maybe I'm just growing out of that phase where the Drake music is just not as enjoyable to me. I just want to hear lyrics and bars, and that's what I want to hear. And I think that that's what the Clips album brought for me. It was it must have been a nostalgic feel, but at the same time, they gave me bars, they gave me production, they gave me a cohesive album which hit. And Drake hasn't done that for me, and I'm disappointed as a fan. As a fan, I'm disappointed, but I love Drake, and I hope there's more to it. And I hope that I get to enjoy the album. I'll put it that way. I hope I get to enjoy the album. I hope it's better than the last 3 projects he put out. Because even the project with Party Next Door, like it was good, but I don't think it was great. Like I wanted more Party Next Door on the album. But I guess that's just me asking for too much as a fan. But I'll put it like this, man. I'm still excited for Iceman. I can't wait for it to drop. I'm gonna be there to listen to it. I'm gonna give my take on it. If y'all don't like my opinion, that's cool. Again, it's just all opinion based. But if you want to speak on facts, we can speak on facts and we can debate about it. I'm down for discourse. I'm down for when it comes to Drake. I'm down for discourse. Y'all will never, ever, ever, and I say that wholeheartedly, y'all can't beat me in a discourse about Drake. Because if we're talking about sonically and musically, there's not, like, we can go back and forth about that. But I'm not a meat writer. I tell you how it is. I'm unbiased, super unbiased. But that doesn't mean that I won't talk my shit when it comes to it. But thank you for tuning in for this episode. Yeah, man. Tune in for the next one. Hope to see y'all. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Again, I appreciate y'all. My name is Poppy Johnson. This is Poppy TV. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, your weekend. And as always, love y'all. Be safe.